Today, an investigation is underway at a Lethbridge care center after mice were found picking at a patient's face. It's National Suicide Prevention Day. We look at what resources are available to those in need. Preparing for emergencies as part of school bus safety.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Alberta's health minister has ordered 2 investigations into a complaint mice were discovered nibbling on the face of a dementia patient at Saint-Therese Villa, a Lethbridge long-term care facility.
Question that I have, and that's why I've ordered the 2 investigations that I have to find out. I mean, the best way to avoid these problems is to deal with them when they're raised. I'm extremely angry about this. There's no reason for these sorts of situations to occur in our health system. I'll wait and get the report on what happened here, but this is completely unacceptable. It's intolerable in this province or any other province.
Health Minister Horan says the province has ordered a probe under the Protection for Persons in Care Act, also a review into whether health standards at the facility were breached. Covenant Health, the company that owns the privately run facility, says it has taken immediate action and is also conducting a review. Current and former employees of Covenant Health are speaking out in light of the concerns over the care at St. Teresa Village. They say most of the staff do an amazing job, but even so, some residents aren't getting the level of care they deserve, and they say the designated assisted living facility was often understaffed and concerns were often disregarded. Terry Vogt reports.
It's about time.
Ann Schultz is one of several former healthcare aides at St. Therese Villa, who's now raising concerns about the privately owned facility. It took reports of mice nibbling on a resident who is disabled and suffering from dementia to get this investigation. But Schultz says care facilities need to be closely monitored all the time, not just when something happens.
I think the workers that work there that are the good workers, they know what's going on, but it's like they're all saying, we do our job, we do the best that we can, and complaining's not helping.
In a statement released yesterday and reinforced today, Covenant Health says the organization has immediately dealt with any environmental concerns, cleaning areas thoroughly according to standards and protocol. They say when issues arise, the first priority is the safety and health of residents. But Curtis Scheck is another healthcare aide who used to work at St. Therese. He hopes this incident will lead to changes and better care for residents.
Because that's something that I really want to stress, is that this incident has nothing to do with the healthcare aides, the LPNs in that building. But when you're constantly working short staff and you're calling management saying, look, there's 2 RAs on the floor right now for 34 residents, where's the extra help? Management's response is always, we're trying to fix the problem.
The former staff members that we spoke to say frontline workers are doing the best they can under the circumstances, but aren't getting the support they need from Covenant Health. They say it's up to the provincial government now to step in and ensure residents get the quality of care that they deserve. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Obviously, the story is generating a lot of discussion about care centers and care center regulations. Here's what some of you are saying.
I never had a mouse in my home and I would never want one, and I feel sorry for the people that are there that have to put up with that.
But I was terribly surprised at what came in the paper. That I couldn't believe it, not here.
Some things get blown out of proportion a little bit with things like this. I think it is a really horrible situation, and I feel awful that it happened, and to be the person that it happened to especially is really horrible. But I think it's really important to get all the facts in situations like this to make sure that we're not giving false information.
Major shakeup today at the top of Alberta Health Services. 5 AHS executives have been fired in the wake of a sweeping managerial review. And it's also been announced that AHS will go from 80 senior executives to just 10. Health Minister Fred Horan says he's trying to streamline senior management structure to better support patients and frontline staff. Coming up on our news at 6, we've got more on this shakeup fallout. Okay, Dory, for the next few days, there's a few things we're going to need. Sunscreen, drinks, some shade.
Yeah, maybe a fan.
Oh,
maybe
nice.
a fan, just saying. Yep, temperature is going to be really warm. That area of high pressure is really dominating now much of Western Canada, but there are some areas that are not looking so pretty, and one of them is coming up in a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Dory. 46-year-old Lethbridge woman has admitted to stealing over $12,000 from a physically disabled woman. Jacqueline Oler pleaded guilty to one count of fraud over $5,000. Euler had been employed as a home care worker when she used the woman's bank account and credit cards over a 2-year period. CTV spoke with Lethbridge Family Services where Oler worked. We were told that home care workers are never permitted to handle a client's financial affairs or have access to their banking information or credit cards. Workers are to follow a strict service plan prepared by a nurse that generally includes food preparation, laundry, light housekeeping, and bathing. Meanwhile, the case has solicited a lot of negative information in the community. A pre-sentence report has been requested. Oler will be sentenced December the 3rd. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and Alberta Health Services wants to remind everyone that they're not alone when it comes to suicide cases. A seminar for those who have been affected by suicide in their lives was held at Lethbridge Library today. These programs bring together agencies to help facilitate the grieving process for families, friends, and helps those suffering get the help they need. Organizers say this type of program is something all communities should have in place.
We're trying to help people understand what really happens to those who choose suicide and those who are left behind and how they need to cope with it.
So for us, it's important that there is something in the community in the area of suicide prevention.
And a young woman is in a Montana jail cell today, charged with murdering her husband on their honeymoon. 22-year-old Jordan Lynn Graham was hiking with 25-year-old Cody Lee Johnson in Glacier National Park earlier in July, only a week after their wedding. Graham told an FBI agent that she and Johnson were arguing. She says she got so upset she pushed him in the back with both hands, causing him to fall face first over a cliff. Johnson was reported missing when he failed to show up for work the next day. His new bride is now charged with second-degree murder. Outdoor raves have become a noisy and messy problem in the East Kootenay. The all-night parties have made their way to Lake Kootenay, disturbing residents and campers alike. The issue has come to the attention of the regional district, but as Kimberly Davidson explains, many say their hands are tied.
Lake Kootenay is a popular spot for summer fun. But this summer, the lake became the site of a new kind of party, outdoor raves that go well into the morning hours.
They start up at like 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning and go till 6 o'clock in the morning. And those rave parties, the music can be heard all the way down the lake, across the lake to Provincial Park, and it would just carry on and on.
Summer resident Chris Inglis brought the problem to the regional district. He says he's troubled not only by the noisy raves, but the mess left behind after huge parties on Crown land.
And when they run short of firewood, the chainsaw starts up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they cut down the tree that's next to the fire, and that's what they use for firewood.
Regional district board members say they are aware of the problem, but that there simply aren't enough resources available to patrol the lands around the lake.
We could probably supply one officer, but what one officer is going to do, I'm not sure. The parties get upwards to 2,000 kids out there.
The other issue, the land around Lake Kootenay is Crown land and belongs to the province, not the regional district.
It is Crown land, and so we have no jurisdiction over it.
The board has written letters to several provincial agencies and voted to send another to the MLA in hopes the province will take control of the disturbing outdoor raves. Kimberly Davidson, CTV News, Cranbrook.
And students at Colehurst Elementary School had the chance to jump from the back of a bus today. Don't worry though, it's done to teach the kids about safety. As part of the Think of Us on the Bus campaign, students jumped from the back of the bus, which doesn't happen often. This shows the kids what to do in the event of an emergency with help from local sheriffs and teachers. Students learned how to exit in a safe manner. Staff say it's an important safety step for the kids to learn.
Our job as educators is to provide a safe environment for students to learn, and that begins the moment that they get on the bus in the morning. The bus driver sets the tone for the entire day, and safety is everything for our students. We want to make sure that they get to school in the right frame of mind to start learning as soon as they hit the door, and the bus drivers are a crucial part of that.
So far this year, there have been 4 incidents where vehicles have failed to yield to school buses in Colehurst. This week's edition of Farm TV takes us to the homesteads of local farmers and gives us a tour of what life is all about on the farm.
As part of the first Alberta Open Farm Days, over 40 farms and ranches across the province were open to the public on Sunday, August 25th.
It's about inviting our urban and rural audiences to the farm that aren't familiar with agriculture and what happens on the farms and ranches. It's about learning, education, fun. As I say, we're very excited to be a part of this initiative.
For Rachel and Tyler Hebert of Trails End Ranch, it was an opportunity to let people see firsthand how they raise their beef cattle.
We sell direct market grass-fed, grass-finished beef. And as you can see from today, it's not just the product that we have to offer, but the experience. We really welcome people to come and get to know us, get to know our family and our ranching practices.
In addition to letting people visit the cows, horses, chickens, and other ranch animals, the Heberts had products on display from other local producers and artists. And, of course, samples of their beef.
Our Trails End Beef page has a lot of loyal followers who want to know what's going on in the ranch, if we're milking the cow, what adventures the kids have been doing.
Farm TV is brought to you by DA Building Systems.
Always fun on the farm. On to the financial markets today, where stocks rose and crude oil dropped as Syria said it would hand over any chemical weapons.